I couldn't believe it when my wife dropped that bombshell. "I'm so sick of everything," she said one morning, as if she was just talking about the weather. She didn't even look up from her coffee. "This weekend, I'm leaving the kids at my mom's and we're going on a trip with another couple. We need to shake things up." I felt my world stop. I slammed my fist on the table. "Don't even think about it," I growled. "If you go through with that, I'll throw you out on the street." But she didn't back down. They say marriages die by 1,000 small cuts. A forgotten birthday here, a dinner eaten in silence there. But mine, it ended in a single sentence, a single breath over breakfast. "I'm sick of everything," she'd said, pouring her almond milk like it was just another Tuesday. "This weekend, I'm leaving the kids at my parents' and going away with another couple." I stared at her, stunned. "Another couple? What do you mean, another couple?" She barely blinked. "A couple like us, married. Just more adventurous." I couldn't find words at first. I just sat there, numb, staring at the woman I'd shared a life with. She let out an impatient sigh. "We need to bring some excitement back. You're too steady, predictable. We can't just keep going like this." I gripped the table so hard I thought I'd break it. "So let me get this straight," I finally managed. "You want to dump the kids, run off with strangers, and sleep with another guy in the same bed I worked my tail off to provide for this family?" She rolled her eyes. "It's just a weekend. You might even like it." I stood up. "Don't even think about it," I growled. "Or I swear, I'll throw you out on the street." Her gaze turned sharp, cold, not a hint of guilt or fear. "Then maybe I'll just go alone." She turned and walked out like she just asked me to take out the trash, not like she just set our entire marriage on fire. But here's the thing, she thought that was the end of it. She had no clue that was just the beginning of my payback. That weekend changed everything. She left on a Friday afternoon, her suitcase packed with swimsuits, strappy heels she hadn't worn since she was in college, and a grin that didn't feel like it was for me. She didn't bother with a real goodbye. No long hug for the kids, just a quick, "Love you guys." "Be good" tossed over her shoulder as she hurried out the door, a duffel slung carelessly in her hand and a glint of anticipation in her eyes that I hadn't seen in years. I stood at the window, watching her pull away in that shiny black crossover I'd given her for our anniversary, the one I was so proud to buy. She never said the names of the people she was meeting up with that weekend, but I already knew. I'd been piecing together the puzzle for months. Her sudden late nights at the gym, her secretive texting habits, the way her smile didn't reach her eyes when she got home. Then there was the night she left her tablet unlocked and I saw it. An invite labeled, "Getaway Weekend Suite 202. I didn't say a word then. I didn't have to. I'd been documenting everything, every conversation, every suspicious app, every GPS ping when she claimed she was at yoga, every shady profile she'd set up on those secret couples forums. And the guy? Jason Murphy. Married. A sales rep in his mid-30s. Lived out of town. At least that's what she thought. But I'd already talked to his wife. She'd been just as clueless as me until I laid it all out for her. That weekend tore my world apart. She left on a Friday afternoon, suitcase stuffed with bikinis, those old high heels she hadn't worn since she was a kid, and a smile that belonged to a stranger. No goodbye kiss. Barely a pat on the head for the kids. Just a quick, "Love you guys. Be good." Like she was dropping them off at camp. She slung her duffel bag over her shoulder, her eyes gleaming with a hunger I hadn't seen in years. I watched her drive off in that black SUV, my gift for our 10th anniversary, and felt like the floor dropped out from under me. She never gave me the names of the couple she was meeting, but I'd been putting the pieces together for months. Messages mysteriously disappearing from her phone, her sudden passion for evening workouts she never invited me to join. And that time she left her iPad open, with a calendar invite labeled, "Weekend Escape Suite 202. I didn't confront her then. I kept my mouth shut but documented everything. Every text, every suspicious smile, every GPS ping when she claimed she was with friends. I even found her burner profile on that couple's lifestyle forum, the one where she'd met him. Jason Marks, married, mid-30s, sales rep, living a few hours away. At least that's what she believed. But I'd already reached out to his wife. She'd been just as blindsided as me until I spelled it all out. By Saturday night, I'd spent hours combing through the footage. Not just blurry betrayal, but full conversations. I can't believe he still hasn't figured it out, Janet said, giggling on the bed, twirling her hair like a teenager. Jason chuckled, his grin wide and bare-chested. Most guys are too proud to admit they've lost control, he said. But your husband? He's just pathetic. I paused the video not because it hurt, though it did, but because I wanted that moment seared into my mind. The second I stopped being her husband and became her reckoning. The message was clear. Early Sunday morning, I made 3 copies of that video. Edited, timestamped, every word crystal clear. I slipped one anonymously into an envelope and mailed it to Janet's boss. Why? Because Jason wasn't just her affair partner, he was also a client of the board. It was a conflict of interest bomb waiting to blow up in her face. The second flash drive went to Jason's wife. She deserved the truth, unfiltered and undeniable. The third one, though? That was for the grand finale. Janet came home Sunday evening looking all sun-kissed and triumphant. She kissed the kids like nothing happened, gave me that forced, plastic smile, and acted like the weekend was just another girl's getaway. I didn't say a word. Not until Tuesday when she got that email from HR. Please report to the compliance office regarding your client relationships and a pending ethics review. Her face drained. I watched her from the living room as she frantically tried to call Jason. No answer. She tried again. Still nothing. That's when I handed her a small box. She frowned. What's this? Your backup drive, I said, my voice steady. Figured you might need it. She flipped the lid and froze when she saw it, a flash drive labeled in red. Sweet 2022. Play me. Her hand trembled as she picked it up. Our eyes locked. You bugged me, she whispered. I nodded. You lied to me. In this house. Around our kids. And now you want to play the victim. Tears welled up. Regret flickered. But it was too late. The house of cards came crashing down. Within days, she was suspended from work while they launched a full investigation. Jason's wife filed for divorce and, to make sure he felt the burn, she leaked the footage to his boss. Janet's parents, who used to brag that I was the perfect son-in-law, sent a text. We're sorry. We had no idea. Can we talk? But I wasn't finished. On our wedding anniversary, the one she'd forgotten last year, I filed for divorce. And I attached every chat log, every message, every damning video. She begged, cried, tried to find the right words. But I wasn't unkind. I gave her exactly what she gave me, cold, deliberate silence. The aftermath hit like a hurricane. They say when a house burns down, it's not just the walls that fall, the fire takes everything with it. The photos on the walls, the memories in the corners, the foundation itself. Janet's world was on fire. The fallout was swift. Within 10 days of that HR bombshell, she was out of a job. Turns out the board wasn't too keen on the idea of client relations happening half-naked in hotel rooms, especially with time-stamped footage to back it up. Jason disappeared like smoke in the wind. His wife emptied their accounts and slapped him with a restraining order. She sent that same damning video to his entire family tree. I didn't have to lift a finger. Janet's carefully polished life, her reputation, her carefully curated image crumbled under the weight of her own deception. And then the apologies began. First a quick message, I messed up. Can we please talk? Then a voicemail, I was confused. I didn't want to hurt you. I need our family back. Then came the letter, 4 pages of shaky handwriting, desperate, begging to see the kids, to have her life back. But by then, I'd already sat down with my lawyer. The divorce was quick and decisive. Full custody on the table. I never replied. Some apologies aren't meant to be answered. They're meant to hang in the air unanswered. And then, the twist I didn't expect. One morning, I opened the front door, and there she was. Sitting on the steps, eyes bloodshot, hair pulled back like she was trying to look like the wife I used to know. I have nothing, she whispered. I didn't invite her in. I just stood there, silent, until the weight of it all crushed her. I was stupid, she choked out. She stood there, waiting, like maybe she could get a reaction out of me, like maybe I'd melted her apology. I thought I needed more, she whispered. But you were always enough. She didn't realize that by then I'd already healed. There wasn't a single part of me left for her to twist, to tear apart, to fill with her poison. I met her eyes, steady. The only thing I had left, I said, my voice calm, was this home. But it's not yours anymore. You burned it to the ground. She flinched. And now you get to live in the ashes. Then I closed the door. Not out of hate. Out of peace. Revenge isn't about rage or shouting. It's about waking up one morning and realizing you don't need to fight for someone who treated your worth like it was disposable. Now it's just me and the kids in a smaller place. Less space but more warmth. No late nights wondering if she'd come home. No lies. Just dinners, laughter, board games. I even started writing again. Something I'd stopped when I was too busy trying to patch up a marriage on my own. In the quiet, I found pieces of myself I'd lost. Parts one didn't even know I'd missed. A few weeks ago, she reached out again. Another text, "I see your smile in the pictures. I missed that smile. I ruined everything. I know that now." I didn't reply, not because I was angry, because I didn't owe her closure. I gave that to myself. The real revenge? She thought she could break me and walk away clean. But here's the thing. The real revenge isn't what I did to her. It's what I built without her. It's standing taller than she ever thought possible, happier than she ever imagined, and letting her watch it all from the outside. Because that kind of pain, you can't fake your way through it. It sticks. If this story struck a chord with you, if you've ever been blindsided by betrayal but found the courage to rise again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Lauren's story. Your support helps bring these real, raw, and powerful stories to life. Stories of strength, of betrayal, of redemption. Drop a comment below. What would you have done if your spouse came home asking to bring someone else into your love life, only to shatter everything you'd worked for? Because here at Lauren's Story, we know every betrayal leaves an echo, and every echo leads to a reckoning.